Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the atrium here at City Hall. This is an exciting day. For many months, we've been thinking about the future of City Island, what it could be, how we could reimagine it for the future decades to come, and have it really be the attraction that it already is, but just even more importantly, connecting the community in valuable ways, being a greater resource, attracting more families. We've established internally a City Island Task Force, and we've had conversations with all the various stakeholders, from the senators, to the permit holders, to the marinas, and we're all working together to create a reimagined and exciting City Island. But one of the most exciting projects, by far, is this incredible concept for a stadium for the Islanders. I'll have a few more words to say about it in a moment, but I think the best way to introduce the project is through a video, and if you will indulge us, we will play you a short video.
For over 10 years, the Harrisburg City Islanders have brought professional soccer excitement and entertainment to Harrisburg Skyline Sports Complex on City Island. The team has had great success making it to the playoffs 8 out of 10 years in the USL Pro League. Second only to MLS, the USL Pro League is the strongest, best operated, and most experienced men's professional soccer league in North America. This strength is seen both on and off the field.
The stadium that we play on, of course, Skyline Stadium, probably the most unique environment in the United States as far as facilities. It's got a beautiful environment and atmosphere, and we've got the worst stadium in the league.
We call the field the Pit, and that's something that we actually picked it up from one of the other teams. The guys, other teams hate coming in there. They're like, this is a pit. That's what one of the guys said one day, and it kind of stuck.
Everything I've seen as I'm going along is first class. The only part of the whole experience that I don't view as first class is when I come to City Island and to watch a game.
Developing a new stadium, enhancing the stadium, what I feel that will bring both on and off the community is, number one, sense of pride. I feel currently that the character, the moral, the things that we do on and off the field are very high quality, but the stadium doesn't match it.
And this is not about Harrisburg City Islanders. It's about Central Pennsylvania and creating an environment that people want to continue to come. And the Senators obviously captured a lot of that. And the island has so much potential to be a destination. And this is going to be the next step to make it a destination.
The professional minor league sports in our area definitely is one of our largest and strongest marketing segments. It's important to us not only because of the teams themselves, but because of the facilities and the venues.
And I think the biggest thing that we want to focus on is giving something back to the inner city youth. JT Dorsey has done a fantastic job working with the inner city kids, trying to develop some soccer talent and programs down there.
Field space is at the minimum in the area, and especially good field space. So to be able to have a facility that's of top quality for the kids to be able to use would be absolutely fantastic.
So there's a natural fit between the types of training we do that are a lot about workforce development, team building, team play, small group solving problems, making products, those kinds of things are just like sports, and so often we do it in tandem with athletics.
Anything that would go on in this facility, our students could take part of, and not only just as an intern or as a public service or whatever, but as curriculum.
Pittsburgh is obviously the greatest example. Pittsburgh built their stadium. This was their first year in the stadium. It's ironically pretty similar environment to ours. It's right on one of the rivers. But Pittsburgh went from averaging less than 1,000 fans a game to averaging 4,000 fans a game this year.
The new stadium will expand seating capacity to over 4,500 seats, create an entrance plaza, a new deck facility for viewing the game, a new main seating area, private boxes and a press box, classrooms, a new concession area, locker rooms, goal line seating, and a new scoreboard.
I commend Harrisburg City Islanders on their effort. I've been to all the home games this year, and to see the facilities that they play in and what the potential could be right up against the skyline in Harrisburg to play in a beautiful soccer-specific stadium would bring tremendous economic impact to the area.
The city of Harrisburg is rising up out of the ashes of its financial distress era. With a full, strong plan in place from the city-appointed receiver, the city is in a great position to start planning for its renaissance. This new stadium project is just what Harrisburg needs to feel proud of itself once again. And it is the perfect bookend to complete the north end of City Island. Family fun and entertainment, professional soccer, youth development, and community events all in one location. Join the Islanders in helping to make this project a reality.
Well, I had the great pleasure of watching that video myself, meeting with Eric and Patrice, talking about the team, talking about the potential. It's exciting. I want to make one point that unlike in the past with city projects, this is not a project that is going to be financed by the city. The city's not guaranteeing any bonds or any aspects of this construction. The city's not in a position to do that. What the city is in a position to do is to support it and support outside investment coming to make this stadium a reality and a possibility, and to see it as part of a future plan for the redevelopment of the island. And that's why we're excited about it. It's because the Islanders recognize that being a partner with the city doesn't necessarily mean requiring the city to do the fundraising or the building itself. I'm also particularly excited about the fact that they are committed to a connection with the youth of Harrisburg. Much of the thought that has gone into the stadium has been about how to connect the stadium with the surrounding area, make those facilities available in ways that we really haven't made them available and more public before. That's a very exciting thing. And when you take a look at the potential economic impact that this stadium can have, not only for the city and the region, I think you will all be impressed. But let me please welcome, to tell you a little bit more about that financial impact study and other ideas on the stadium, the owner of the City Islanders, Eric Pettis.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. First day of spring. Good way to start. First of all, I want to thank Mayor Pappenfuss and Joyce Davis and their team for allowing us to come in here. And again, the support that we've had through the mayor's office over our 11 years existence has been instrumental in allowing us to grow as a team. And support is the word that I think we need to use because it's been amazing since we started talking about our dream. And now turn this into a vision, which means, you know, a dream is a dream, a vision is a plan, and we've got a plan. And all the people that have stepped up to support this plan and volunteer and jump in, it's been truly amazing. So the team that kind of got us to where we are now with this feasibility study, and the feasibility study basically says, hey, this makes sense. It makes sense for the city, it makes sense for the community. I must have received 10 or 15 congratulatory emails, and my point is, we're not at the finish line yet. We've got a lot of hard work to do, but what we do know is this makes sense. And so now we got to get the funding together, and again, we've got a lot of support on that, but we've got a lot of area to cover before we get to the end result. But I think we all agree the end result is a beautiful venue and really a gem for central Pennsylvania and the city of Harrisburg. So I first want to thank Brad Jones from Harristown, who has been instrumental from the get-go of getting pieces together. This is not what I do for a living. I needed all the help and support that I could get and our team could get. And Brad really has been the guy putting all this together, and Harristown has just been fantastic. Secondly, we want to really thank the Dauphin County Commissioners because they get this vision, they understand it, they have supported us and also helped pay for the feasibility study. And they continue to invest into our organization because of where this can go. So, you know, Jeff Haste, George Hartwick, Mike Priest, we just want to thank you for your commitment and your support because it's been, again, instrumental in allowing us to move forward. I want to also thank Delta Development Corporation, who was instrumental getting basically our proposal together and the feasibility study. And that's Deb Tollett, and I just met Darren Asper for the first time. And again, what a beautiful job that they did putting basically our study together. And then we talked again a lot about the youth involvement. Bob Welch and Jump Street, again, has been fantastic, sharing his ideas and how we can integrate the youth services into this whole facility, to have classrooms there, to provide opportunities for research and jobs and things like that. Denny Boger and his organization, again, sharing ideas of how we can all work together so we can all benefit. And of course, JT Dorsey, who was one of our original players in the JT Dorsey Foundation, and his involvement with the city and trying to create programs to enable them to learn life lessons and to learn about soccer and how soccer applies to life. So JT Dorsey, if you don't know, is a guy that is extremely committed to this city and to the youth. And at this point, we really don't have any quality soccer fields for the city, for any of the city kids to play on. And that's just, again, I mean, that's just something that has to change. So this would be a facility that, again, they would share with us. That JT's program can use, the city youth programs can use, et cetera. And I also want to thank Kevin Spahn from Video Cafe because that video in 4 minutes really covers and captures the whole program and what we're trying to do, and in our opinion, why this really is a win-win situation for everybody involved. So that's pretty much our group. I probably missed some people, and I apologize in advance. And of course, our staff, Tiago Lopes, Patrice, and all of our staff, and Jimmy Bowers, and all of the work that they put in to get us to this point. So now, going forward, you know, we've got to raise the funds, and we are looking at public and private dollars, matching dollars. We're in a lot of communications. We have met with state representatives, state senators, folks at the State Treasury Department, the county commissioners, the mayor, and, you know, again, everybody's working for the good of this cause. So our team going forward, again, Brad Jones and Harristown will continue to quarterback this project. We wouldn't be here today, and we probably wouldn't continue going forward at this pace without them. R.S. Mowry, Doug Macnich has been tremendous in helping us try to figure out what this is going to cost, what this is going to look like, and of course the owner, Don Mowry. By design, Jay Blackwell has been the architect on the project, and our engineers, Mark Karowski, hopefully I got that right, with KS Engineers. So that's the team going forward right now of where how we're going to move ahead with this project. Now, let me just first kind of step back. This is our 11th year. For those of you who don't know, our team has really, really gotten good. The first year we played, we were an okay team. To be honest, we were a glorified men's amateur / professional team. I always love to tell the story. We played in Westchester County Park against the Westchester Club, who's now gone down to the PDO, in a county park with no seats. And today we're playing in stadiums such as Rochester that seats 19,000. Orlando plays in the Citrus Bowl. When the championship game last year, there was 22,000 fans at the game. So our team has made huge strides to keep competitive. And originally we would have been the equivalent of single A baseball, and through mergers and acquisitions, we have now been elevated to basically what would be a triple A baseball comparison. So if you look at our roster this year, it's going to be very exciting. Of course, we'll have some local players, but we're going to have players from Benfica, from Real Madrid, from Corinthians, from Blackburn Rovers. international players and investors are seeing that the United States is a wonderful place to invest in soccer. It has been a great participant sport for the last 20 years. It has now become a great spectator sport. If you've not been to a Philly Union game or an MLS game, I would tell you to go see it because it's a rock concert. 10 years ago, you went to an MLS game, people sat in their hands. I went to see the USA-Mexico World Cup qualifier when we qualified for a World Cup. We didn't sit down for 90 minutes. It is exciting. This game as a spectator sport is here. So, you know, our team is evolved and again, just continue to improve. Our league has really gotten strong. 6 years ago, there was a bit of a civil war, so to speak, and we were down to 6 teams, and we hung in there. And this year, we have teams from Phoenix, Charleston, Charlotte, Dayton, LA Galaxy, MLS Direct, Oklahoma City, Orange County, Orlando, Pittsburgh, Richmond, Rochester, Sacramento, Wilmington. 11 of these teams will have direct affiliation with Major League Soccer. It is a whole new ball game. So of course, our affiliate is the Philadelphia Union, and they have raised the bar. They've invested in us, and they will continue to invest in us. We have put more players from the Harrisburg City Islanders into the MLS than any other team. So the MLS, which is the strongest league, obviously it is the major league in the United States, is investing into our league. It is development. We want to develop players. Their goal is similar to ours. We've always wanted to be a development team and develop talent and move them on to the next level. That's our goal. Their model is to work, it's the Philly Union, the Harrisburg City Islanders, Reading United, who's in the PDL, and the youth academies. And their goal is, in 3 to 4 years, half the players that start on that pitch on PP&L Park came through our academy systems. So it is about youth development. They've also got a tremendous vision. We were the first ones to create a relationship with an MLS team, and I give Nick Sakowicz of the Philadelphia Union all the credit because it was his vision. But he continued with this vision. They've actually started a soccer school like Bradenton, but now they have one in Philly where this is for kids that want to play soccer, get a great education, and go to the next level. So, you know, our team, our league, and the MLS is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What that means is there's more sponsorship dollars, there's more ways to grow this opportunity, and really, it's imperative for us as a professional organization that we take this next step because they've been very gracious with us. League minimum standards are 5,000 seat stadiums. We got a great environment if you've been down there, but it's not as good as most high school stadiums. So obviously this is the drive that the union's like, you have to build a new stadium or you've got to find a new location. So this is where we are, the City Islanders. We're part of Harrisburg. We don't want to leave. And again, everybody's working together, and everybody realizes that City Island is a gem, and it's a diamond in the rough that can continue to develop and to be a real destination spot. Second of all, this really isn't just about soccer. It's about this community. It's going to raise tax dollars. It's going to bring revenues. It's going to enhance the downtown and the city. So from a financial standpoint, economic standpoint, it makes perfect sense. But more than that, this is a community opportunity. And this is an opportunity for us to be more committed to the community and to provide services for the youth and for all the other opportunities that we may be missing. So for again, for concerts and things like that, there's so many more opportunities that we can take advantage of and again, drive more revenue, more business, and again, bring this city to a point where we're all proud to say that we live and we work in Harrisburg. So that's kind of where we are. It's been a fun project. We've got a lot of work to do. By no means are we at the end of this road. We're just really hitting the point where, I mean, we're really going to be working extremely hard to get this off. Our goal is not in 2015, but 2016 to be in the new stadium. That is our goal. We've seen other models. It takes about 9 months roughly to complete a stadium. It could be in maybe phase 1, phase 2. But ultimately, again, I would say go look at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds website, check out their stadium, and see how beautiful it is, and again, what an asset it is for that city. So, again, I want to thank everybody, for your support, for being here, and again, we're all excited about driving this project to conclusion. So at that point, I would like to bring up the Dauphin County Commissioners, and again, thank them for their involvement because, again, we would not be here without them.
Well, it's a little tough to have anything else to say after Eric did that. He covered it fairly well. But as I was standing there, I was trying to think of a couple points that I could add to that. First off, it's been our pleasure as a Board of Commissioners to be able to be part of this. I think most of you know that we try to invest the gaming and the tourism dollars as wisely as we can. We try to invest it in such a way that brings in other dollars to the community. So that we can continue to grow the great area that we live in. One of the things, so when we had the chance to do the study, we felt that that was a needed part so that if we made any more investments going forward, we would know whether it was a good investment or it was time to really pull back. The study made it really clear that we were on the right track. This was something that had to go. A couple other things I just want to say, with City Island, I've coached high school soccer for a number of years, and I've actually coached at City Island for a number of years. And Eric's right. You pull in there, great setting, you're getting all excited, and then you go to the field, and it's really not the best field, even in high school level. It's gotten a little bit better. The baseball diamond is now out of the corner. A few groundhogs you have to avoid at times. But, so the amazing thing is that we have a professional team playing on a field that is not even up to some high school levels. And Eric's absolutely right. I didn't realize that everybody was calling it the Pit, but I was over there one night and I heard a group of players from the other team come in. And actually, as they came in, when they first got out and they started coming over, they're like, this is really cool. Because the setting is, in fact, really cool. If you look at that, it's breathtaking as you pull in there. Then when they went to their facilities, they came back and basically were saying, this is the Pits. You have professional teams changing in a trailer and using porta pots for there. And it's, again, professional teams coming in here to do this. Another example of how Eric talked about how this team is a good team. And for those who don't follow soccer, you need to start following because this is a good team. I had the pleasure of, this past December, being in Orlando, Florida. Pastime of mine is I like to watch sports a little bit. So I was in a place and I was watching sports and got in a conversation with some folks who were there actually to watch one of the bowl games. And we're having a conversation about the bowl game. He asked where I was from. I said, from Dauphin County, and didn't know that. So I said, Harrisburg, Hershey. He goes, Harrisburg. And he said, you guys have a really good soccer team. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And he goes, those guys gave our team, meaning the Orlando team, a run for our money. So they, we may not talk about it, and some of us around here don't realize it, but here we are in the state of Florida. They know we have a good team. The other thing I'd like to expand on a little bit about what Eric said, is not only does this team get it, the leadership gets it the whole way from the union down to Eric and Patrice and everybody else that's involved. But one of the things, too, if we lost this team, we've had some discussion about this in the leagues there. If we don't do something with this, we could lose this team. I don't know too many people understand this except for those of us that coach youth soccer. If we lose this team, we lose a ton of talent that's out there right now helping to coach our young kids who do the training. They may not be the coach. And I coach a team, a high school team, but my summer trainers are guys from the City Islanders. And if they leave and we don't have that talent there, we've actually lost a huge talent pool of folks that are help training our next pro players right here in Harrisburg. And we don't have that opportunity. And you talk about the game of soccer, talking about a game that can cross all levels, whether it's economic, whether it's ethnic. All you need is a pair of boots, a pair of shoes, and a ball, and you can play the game. It is a game that allows every single young kid in our community to have an equal chance, and it's all based upon skill. You can put on those boots, strap them up, put on your shin guards, go out there and play the ball. The most qualified player plays. This is our opportunity to allow kids to come from settings that aren't the best and rise above and become a professional player and come back someday and be proud of this region. If we don't do this, we're doing a disservice to those kids. So I want to say thank you to the mayor for your support, because this, quite frankly, folks, could not happen if it wasn't for everybody involved. It's the involvement of the mayor, it's the involvement of the team, and quite frankly, it's the involvement of every other municipality and every other person in central Pennsylvania to make this happen. I want to say thank you. This is a great day. I can't wait until we cut the ribbon on the real stadium. Thank you.
And by way of closing, let me also thank the Dauphin County Commissioners. I appreciate your leadership on this. I think this is another example of how we are cooperating better than ever to come up with a joint tourism and economic development strategy, not only for the city but for the region. This is a win for everyone. And let me call Eric back up, and we will take questions from the media. I'm sure you have quite a few.
What's the confidence you have that this is going to get funded? That you're going to get the funding?
We are far enough along. Oh, yes, sorry. We are definitely far enough along that we feel confident that we're going to get it. It's going to be a lot of work, but we have had, that's why we've had all these discussions before we got to this point. So I feel very confident that we can make it happen.
Now, you mentioned you were talking with representatives, people in government. Is there any government funding that's being considered?
I'll be honest, at this point specifically, we can't really say where that's going to come from. That would be the next phase. But there would be some type of involvement.
The feasibility study being made available online in any way?
That's a good question. Does anybody know this feasibility study online?
There are the executive summary that is in the press packet if you need that, and it is also online. You can go to the City Islander website. You can go under the Stadium tab, and at the bottom, all of this information, including those two poignant documents, are on there, as well as, I'll plug it now because I know Eric is not a social media guy, but also a plug for following the new stadium. Joyce is telling you to walk up here and say that. Did y'all get that? Yes? Good. Okay. All right, just to reiterate that, yes, the entire economic, the two large pages from the economic study are online. Go to harrisburgcityislanders.com, click the stadium link, drop down through that, and at the bottom there will be information about the economic study. It will also give you the press release that is online, as well as some Facebook and Twitter follows for the new stadium project at City Island.
You mentioned that
When will construction need to start to be ready for the 2016 season?
We would hope to start that really roughly in a year or less than a year. So our goal would be maybe, hopefully January of 2015.
You mentioned that the league wants the teams to have a minimum of 5,000 seats in their stadiums. Why are you only shooting for 4,500?
Well, because with this surrounding bowl, we could easily get an additional 1,000 to 1,500 in there.
So maybe just further in the future add on to it?
Correct. And then maybe it would be a phase two. The intent would be that the majority of the seating would be on the west side, so we would not lose the skyline, and then we would put additional seating on the east side, but not higher than where the bank is now. Let me kind of jump to a point, because a lot of people, well, why would you build that in a floodplain? Right? That's a fair question. That is where our stadium sits is the original Harrisburg Reservoir. And that is a concrete bowl that goes around the entire stadium. So the last time I believe that flooded was Agnes in 1972. Now we did have issues with some of the pipes backing up 2 years ago, but it has not flooded since 1972.
The video.
Talk about the stadium, redoing the stadium. Is there plans to redo the field too, AstroTurf?
Yeah, good question. We would definitely go to a high-quality sports turf. I mean, you know, ideally, we want to play soccer on grass, but the quality and technology of the sports turf has come so far that a couple of the MLS clubs actually do play on sports turf now. But we would need that because we have the most sensitive grass, I swear, in the United States. By August, it's usually gone. So we would want to have sports turf so we could do multiple sports events, high school events, state events, you know, other, one of the things we want to do is bring international friendlies in. 3 or 4 years ago, we played Crystal Palace in Baltimore, but we had to go down to Lancaster to play it. So that would allow much more usage. We could probably use that facility 180 days instead of 30.
The video said in Pittsburgh is kind of a successful case for this.
Yes.
What kind of confidence do you have that beyond the first couple of years, because stadiums usually see boosts in attendance the first couple of years, that novel effect, what kind of confidence that can be sustained?
Well, and I think, again, if we look at the very top level, the Philadelphia Union built their stadium down in Chester and have done a wonderful job in, you know, trying to economically pick up that community. Basically, that's 18,000, 19,000 seats. So this is year 4. They're sold out for every game. So now on our level, you look at Pittsburgh. What it's allowed them to do is to, obviously it brings in more revenue. Their player payroll has jumped incredibly. And what the revenue that they're driving and generating has really taken them to a whole new level. That being said, they're already sold out of season tickets for this year. So that's really, you always have that after the first or second year. We got to put a good product out there. So we're going to have to continue to drive that. But I feel very confident that we will continue to do that. And again, I mean, soccer has just got to, if you can capture that fan base, which we have a great core, but we need to get it, they're going to keep coming and coming and coming. So I'm very confident that even after the first or second year that we will continue to fill that venue.
On the feasibility study, who paid for it?
That was Dauphin County, the commissioner.
If Dauphin County did pay for it through our tax dollars, tourism grants, can we have the entire study instead of 1 or 2 pages?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how do we get that? Will it be posted online?
Probably the best thing would be to just email myself, Patrice at City Islanders. It's in your packet, and we can get that.
The entire study?
Yep.
And then one more, maybe Pace can come up here and give us a little bit of background about the financing part of this.
For the study?
Not for the study, but now the study, again, the cost of the study, but also the Islanders have been receiving, I think, $50,000 a year for tourism grants.
Correct.
It's not done in public. There's no discussion in public. We just see a one-page item that comes up at a meeting that says, we're giving $50,000 to the island.
Correct.
How much money has Dauphin County through its tourism grants given to the Islanders?
I don't know the total, but we've given them, as you said, $50,000 a year. I think we increased it to $75,000 a year after we saw the study, because the study showed it was the right thing to do, and we'll continue to support those dollars. Tourism dollars are about bringing people in here. It was clear the study said people will come. We've heard people will come. We know the amount of rooms that they book for guest players that come in, so I mean it's a good investment. We'll continue to do it.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that point. It's just that if this is public monies coming in through tax dollars, tourism, I think the public has a right.
Yeah, they're not property tax dollars.
Well,
The gaming dollars. Thank you for your clarification. But the gaming dollars are in fact gaming dollars. They come from people who gamble at the casino. The tourism dollars come from people, oftentimes who are non-residents who come here to view our, to come and enjoy and stay here, and it's a hotel tax. We collect those. Those monies are to go back to tourism type of programs. So those are those dollars. The vote is always at a public meeting. It's out there. We put the agenda out ahead of time. People who have an issue can come in and raise an issue. Those who've had wanted points clarified in the past have come in. We've clarified them. So we'll continue to do that.
How much was the feasibility? How much did that cost?
$25,000.
How much?
$25,000.
And have you so far raised any money for the actual construction? If so, how much?
No, we have not.
Okay. And who are you targeting? Corporations?
Well, of course, yeah, you'd have naming rights. That would be one of the sources. private investors, and again, there are matching state dollars that we would be seeking. So basically a combination of three of those. Of course, the owners.
Be fair to say as well, we're hoping for an investment from Major League Soccer, right?
Absolutely.
They are the one, and that would be private investment, and they have a great interest in seeing the Islanders succeed and develop talent.
Correct.
And also just interject, on the Harrisburg City Islanders YouTube channel, YouTube City Islanders channel, you can find the film from today.
Have you spoken to the players about this? What's their excitement level?
Incredibly excited. And that's a good question, because honestly, you know, we have lost some players that went to Pittsburgh. We lost Andrew Marshall, Jose Angulo, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, I can go play in this brand new stadium, or I can play in the pit. So that's a good point, because really for us, again, not just attracting sponsorship dollars, but attracting players and international clubs, again, it's a must. So they're extremely excited about it, and it is definitely a way that we can continue to attract high quality players.
In the past, you guys have had a little bit more trouble at home than on the away games. Do you think that's partly because of the field, and could this change that around?
Yeah, that's a good question, because in the previous years we had a great home record, but you're right, last year we actually did better on the road than we did at home. I don't know if that's a young group, or I really don't know how to explain it. I think we'd have to ask Bill Betcher that one.
Is there a possibility that the field could be used for other uses, such as concerts?
Oh, absolutely. No, that's in the feasibility study. Absolutely. You know, that is definitely one of the goals. I mean, again, we want this is not just a soccer venue. We want to do concerts, you know, rugby tournaments, any type of events we can drive down there. Absolutely.
And what about lighting?
Well, we would definitely need to get new lighting.
Okay, so you're envisioning night games, night
Yes.
games as well?
Yeah, and we do have lighting now. It's just not very good.
Consider any other sites around Dauphin County in this study, like pricing-wise, how much it would cost to build something somewhere else?
We did, and this was definitely and more logistically from our client base, we have a fair amount between Cumberland County and Dauphin County and Perry County. So centrally, this was the best location for us, and of course, we are the City Islanders. So we did look at other land opportunities, but clearly this is the place that was most economically feasible, and again, in our business plan, that's where we want to be.
If I can just interject, you just mentioned about community, and Denny Boger, and I'm seeing some of his students that are here. That's one of the groups that, you know, to continue the ball rolling, is that we want to bring them into this venue as well as Bob. I think you saw it on the video from Jump Street. So just want to all the nice looking guys with black shirts and the green logos are with Denny's group.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think the construction of the site is going to interfere with the season of the players?
Would what?
The construction of the site will interfere.
Yeah,
with the season?
it is a very good question. It is possible that, you know, during the construction phase, we may have to play some games at another facility. That's a very, very good possibility. So timing would be critical. That's a good question.
How does this scheduling with the Senators, how does that, you know, how much conflict is there?
We try to avoid that like the plague. Our attendance is much better when we do not conflict with the Senators. We actually played our playoff game last year in the afternoon so as not to conflict with them, because it is difficult to get that many cars on the island. So we try not to conflict. I think we may have 2 dates this year where they conflict, and typically we'll try to make that a weeknight because they don't draw as well. But that is definitely something we want to work around, and our league knows that every time. Do not give us dates that conflict with the Senators.
Will the stadium still be open to the public on all non-game days? Like right now, it serves as a park, and who's not using it? Will it still be that way after the stadium upgrades?
I don't know if I could answer that question. And is it like, I'm not sure that, you know, like during the day, whether they just people are supposed to be on there playing soccer or running around, they probably do, but I really don't know the answer to that question.
That's something that we can work out. There's an obvious public interest in City Island as a park, open to all. Access is important, and the Islanders are committed to that. And one of the things that I'm excited about is the possibility to have that parking lot at City Island full all the time, and not just on Senators game nights. It's going to bring a lot of revenue into the city. It's going to allow us to expand other operations on City Island. As I have mentioned, we're in the process of going with a master plan for revisioning the island as a whole. And the Islanders and the Senators together complement each other so well. They continue to sort of position the island as just an amazing sporting complex. And I mean, the reason we chose City Island is because that's where the fans want to go. That's where people want to come to see the game. It is. It would be the most exciting place to see a soccer game anywhere in the region, and it will allow the city to hopefully develop other amenities on the island that'll be very exciting and a part of that.
Just for comparison, do you know how many seats you guys have right now, and do you know how many seats the Senators have?
We have approximately 2,200 seats. With the surrounding bowl, I believe our highest attended game was the first DC United friendly, and we were just a shade under 4,000. But 2,200 is the seating capacity.
Any idea how many the Senators have?
I'm thinking 7,000 is what's sticking in my mind, somewhere in that ballpark.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all very much for coming. Thanks to everyone. It looks like there are some takeaways. There's more information. One more question?
Yes.
Final question.
Not related to the new stadium, but could you give us an update on the sinkhole, perhaps, on 14th Street?
Let's talk about that afterwards. Let's let everybody else go. I'll stick around. Okay, great.
Thank you,
all.
everybody.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay.